Donald Trump's decision to send more weapons to Ukraine this week, this has rubbed up
Yeah.
against some of his supporters. They think he should be being more isolationist, more America first. And then also, there's lots of anger about a potential form of some type of amnesty for migrant farm workers to help the farm industry.
Disappointed Donald Trump, one would imagine, that Jeffrey Epstein didn't leave a nice handy list of his clients before he popped his clogs. This is true, isn't it, Katy? There is no smoking gun to be pointed in the direction of various Democrats.
Um, yes, and also, I mean, what is true depends on, of course, who you speak to in Trump world. And ever since the FBI and the DOJ came out with this report saying, first off, Epstein did commit suicide, and secondly, that there's talk of a client list that he may have used to blackmail various figures. Well, the client list doesn't actually exist. There's been ripples, and there might have even been an understatement in the world of MAGA, the Make America Great Again movement, because lots of these figures are saying, hang on a minute, this all sounds a bit deep state. Is there a cover up going on? Isn't this what would
Mm.
happen under the Democrats? And there's particular anger at Palm Bondi, who is the Attorney General, because she once gave a Fox News appearance where she said, or she appeared to say, the client list is on my desk. Soon after Trump returned to the White House, we'll soon be, releasing all this information that the others wouldn't let you release. And now several key figures, Tucker Carlson, Steve Bannon, senior figures in MAGA world saying, hang on a minute, you sound like the other ones.
Yeah, such is my cynicism. I'm slightly surprised that the Trump administration couldn't have made up a client list and put it somewhere. But I suppose that's going too far. It's I suppose it's bad news for Trump in a way, even if he is disavowing the whole story and saying, look, I don't really care about this, that it would have been a nice gun pointed at various senior Democrats, wouldn't it?
Potentially, and I think depending, of course, what was on that list. I mean, lots of people obviously like to point at the photos of Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein. You had Elon Musk
Yeah.
tweeting, at one point through that ongoing fallout, a claim about why Donald Trump wouldn't release the Epstein files, suggesting he was too involved. And Elon Musk then walked back that tweet and apologized, saying he'd gone too far.
There's evidence that the MAGA base is falling out with Donald Trump. That that they're kind of more Trumpish than Trump seems to be at the moment.
Yes. And that this is on a few issues. So there's Epstein, and then also Donald Trump's decision to send more weapons to Ukraine this week. This has rubbed up
Yeah.
against some of his supporters. They think he should be being more isolationist, more America first. And then also, there's lots of anger about a potential form of some type of amnesty for migrant farm workers to help the farm industry. Trump says is not an amnesty, but any exemption there when it comes to stopping mass deportations is going to really upset the base.
Right. It's a difficult time for him, isn't it? Because he's also got coming up. There is more weapons going to Ukraine, which is obviously a shot across the bows of Vladimir Putin. And now he's also got Israel and the Palestinians to deal with. Netanyahu was in Washington this week. Trump gives every indication at the moment of having kind of washed his hands of Israel and Palestine. What's he going to do? Has he given up on a ceasefire plan?
I don't know if he's given up because as we know, Trump will say one thing one day and then suddenly the world is very different one day later. It feels as though he has pretty broad backing for Netanyahu after that visit. And also, I think when it comes to, future said, if Iran gets close to a bomb again, we would back Israel again. I think the Palestine issue is clearly one where Donald Trump is a bit different than Israel in terms of what he wants, but is finding, like with Ukraine and Russia, it's so much harder than during the campaign when he made those pledges to really bring it to any resolution.
Right. And finally, I think I have to touch on this because I saw it and burst out laughing. He was a bit rude to the Liberian president, wasn't he? I just asked him asked him where he learned to speak English, given he was in an Anglophone country, and also looked very doubtful when he asked the Liberian president where he'd been educated, if at all.
Yes. We know that Donald Trump likes British accents and the English language, but as you say, this did not feel like a compliment. And when he told the Liberian president at a meeting with lots of foreign leaders, he spoke good English. He then said, much better than some of the other people around this table. Of course, the others were not coming from a country where the first language is English. So there's been a backlash already, and lots of quizzes going up testing people's knowledge on Liberia to see if you know more than Trump, including, I think, on the Times website. I think probably most people can win on that one.
Yes, indeed. Donald Trump, you've got to love him. Well, actually, you haven't got to love him. But Katy Balls, thank you ever so much.
On the night of his death.
Sure, if I
Pam,
could.
could I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively. The video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.